Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki. And on Street Talk, we did political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight,
Charles Thomas.
Paget Maynard.
Okay, man, we got a lot to cover. I just want to throw out a few things. Because we got a lot of our people still out here with PTSD, and PTSD is post-traumatic slavery disorder, and we got a lot of our people out here with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them running around here talking about, well, I don't vote, and if you don't vote, then what?
You can't complain.
We can look at what happened. We got the first black speaker for the Democrats.
Not speaker, leader of the House.
Yes, you know.
Leader of the Democratic.
If we wasn't voting, he wouldn't be there, you know, and we wouldn't be sending more blacks to Congress and see. So the thing is that we gotta vote and gotta stop being out here with this PTSD, you know. What do you say, Chuck?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Then too, we just got our first black female in the Michigan Supreme Court.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I read a little ditty on her, and she said that her father was lynched down in Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he asked for a receipt.
Yeah.
From a store owner.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they hung her, and that's why she got into law.
Wait a second. Are you telling me for your own right, a receipt to show I paid,
yeah,
you lynch me?
Yeah, he got lynched.
In other words, I am rude and forward to think you are a thief. The only reason I want a receipt is to make sure so that you didn't steal from me.
Right. But that's no reason to kill nobody or lynch nobody.
Nah.
You know, like we said, you know, before, you know, this is the South, the Bible Belt.
This is what's going on, man, and we still got a lot of our people out here won't vote, you know, because they come up with, well, they're gonna be the same thing anyway.
Ain't gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But a lot of people have sacrificed.
Yeah.
For the opportunity to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And out of respect for them. To me, it's your civic duty.
Well, but,
if you want to get involved with the government.
But when people say their vote wouldn't make a difference, do you know you could win or lose by just one vote?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah.
And if you don't think it's going to make a difference, why don't you test it out then?
Yeah.
Try it. Go out and vote and see how much of a difference it made.
Right. And I think the universe will respect you just on your intentions to make a difference.
Well, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You know, and this is what I try to get across to all people of color, all black people really, is that we've had people maimed, killed, and all these different things.
Yeah, lynched.
Lynched to have just to get a chance to vote.
Yeah.
And then we get a chance to vote.
Right.
We won't vote.
Right, right. And just think about what it was like before we were able to vote.
Yeah.
What you had to deal with.
Yeah.
And now you got rights.
Right.
And
yeah.
you want to execute your rights to maintain,
Yeah. Yeah.
sovereignty
Yeah.
in the community.
Hey, Chuck, remember you had to know how many beans
Beans,
in
yeah.
the jar
Yeah, yeah.
in order to vote?
Right, yeah.
And there's kind of random stupidity.
Right, yeah.
You know, I this was before I was look, I was 12 or something like that, 11, 12 or 13, something like that. My people stood in a line from 7 o'clock to 5:30, and the line never moved.
Mm-hmm.
Never moved. They was waiting to vote. So
And then they're going to close the door, say the time
That's,
closed.
yeah.
So you
The
can't vote.
voting's over. Yeah.
Any time somebody, anytime anybody blacks tell me anything about they don't vote, it right away, and it creates something
Yeah.
between me and
Right.
them.
Yeah. You see ignorance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right away.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yes, because you have seen
Yeah.
what happened
Yes.
to your own people
Yeah.
who wanted to vote, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
they
remember.
will not allow you inside. You stand in line, but
Right.
you still can't
Yeah,
reach the door.
yeah, and that's the person that person is oppressed, and he's oppressing himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're not taking the initiative to make a difference,
Right.
but you can sit back and complain and whine and moan.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then you tell your children,
Yeah.
all this negative stuff.
Yeah. Oh well,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna make no difference. It's
Yeah.
like, and that's the worst thing that we can say, that voting don't make any difference, because it does, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I give you a good example. If more people went out to vote 2016
Mm-hmm.
and voted the way they might have voted, but just didn't think it would make any difference, then they would have seen the big difference, because they would not have had Donald Trump in there.
Yeah.
On top of that, we also know that here in Michigan, in the eastern part of Michigan, 70,000+ ballots were not counted,
Mm-hmm.
which was in a Democratic stronghold,
Mm-hmm.
which means had they been counted.
Yeah.
So here again, somebody say, well, my vote wouldn't count. A lot of people, their votes were not counted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the fact that they didn't go out to vote.
Mm-hmm.
The fact was, whoever was responsible for making sure every vote was counted did not do it.
Yeah.
Well.
And that's the difference.
Well, our first time here in this country, we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about the second time in 1500 and something we come here, because we got people out there who say, well, y'all didn't get here to then. When we had these people going up and down these water trails, blacks was leading them and telling them which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what angers me about. They said Christopher Columbus,
Yeah.
discovered.
Yeah. Yeah. See, he thought he was in the West Indies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. When the other, that's in another ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that we've struggled ever since we've been here. But Frederick Douglass said, "From the cradle to the grave."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If you're black, it's a struggle.
Right, yeah. But I see now that white people don't have to oppress us anymore, because we oppressing ourselves by not knowing our history,
Yep.
by not being collectively motivated to get in the game of life economically.
Mm-hmm.
we need to be more proactive with with businesses.
Yeah.
There's no reason that a person in our neighborhood from another country should be selling me fried chicken
Yeah.
or selling me wigs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, when economically those are things that you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you the question then. Let me ask the question then. You said they have this syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
What could be done? Now, typically when we talk about the folks who are in the military in particular,
Right.
came back and they had this syndrome, they go to a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to send our people to therapists to get help or what? How could we help them to overcome that?
Right. That is, I think, that's a good question. But the problem, I see it in Scripture. I call it the Lazarus effect.
The what?
The Lazarus effect.
Okay, let's hear that.
It's the same scenario because we are dead spiritually as a people. We lost the value of loving and respecting one another. It's a byproduct of slavery because they turn us against ourselves. That's the way the devil operates: divide and conquer. Turn the light skin against the dark skin, and economically, and then where you live at, that separates you. Everything is about separation in our community.
Yeah. And
And
we,
getting education and non-educated,
So how are we going to get back together?
well, go ahead.
I think if you believed in what you were taught on Sunday morning, the answer is there. The Bible talks about two different scenarios. It talks about the law and it talks about religion. You have to make a choice. In order, there's a covenant of righteousness, and then religion. Now they took the covenant and they parted the sea. You can't part nothing with religion because look at what religion has done to you, and they're using against it as a tool to oppress us. But they benefit from it.
Yeah.
And the black preachers, they take your tithe and offerings, and the Bible said you got to have a storehouse. But the black preachers can't work together to create a storehouse so that God can bless it. Because it said if you live according to the law, nations will borrow from you. So if the condition that we under the curse of not being obedient to righteousness.
Well, what we've got is we got a thing now where, and I'm only going by what I read because I don't go to church much because we've gotten, like you were saying, we've gotten so tied up into what this preacher is saying. He comes in every time he get ready for some money, get ready to speak to you, he comes in and out of the white neighborhood, he puts his house out there, comes in to the slum,
In a Mercedes.
yeah, and get his money, tell people lies and stuff, because I've been in churches where the preacher would, if this verse don't go with what he's saying, he skip over that verse.
Yeah, jump around.
Yeah, he jump around, and so to me,
So before you go, in other words then, he wants the Bible to say what he wants
Right.
yeah,
rather than him saying what the Bible
Right.
says.
Yeah, to make itself look
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and again, all the preachers I know now, and I don't know many preachers by name. I just know them when I see them or somebody said that's a preacher. But back 50 years ago, to me, the preacher was totally different because, I come up in an all-black neighborhood. And in fact, until I got out of junior college, all my teachers was black. All my teachers, from the time I started school until I got finished 2 years of college, they were black.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the preachers was working a job just like we were.
Yeah.
You know, and it, to me, it made more communication and everything. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. If you don't work, you don't eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But now we got these preachers, you know, who rides in, like you said, in the Mercedes and these Jaguars and all these other stuff, you know, get the money and I'm gone, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Now, I do some preaching myself.
Mm-hmm.
All right? They're not all the same.
No. I'm not.
We got to, if anything, try to tell the preacher himself, man, get back to the word.
Mhm.
You know, let's get back to the word. I had a preacher guy met me one day, hailed me up. He said, I saw you on TV. I like your show. Berean Voice.
Mhm.
He said, you know why I like it? You stick with the word. I said, well, I don't have anything else.
Mhm.
That's all I have to offer, the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if every one of us decide to stick with the word, of course, I understand a lot of these folks are saying what they were taught. So if you were taught the wrong thing, you grow up with the wrong thing, you're going to end up teaching the wrong thing. So it now comes to, well, brethren, how about we get back to the word and ask God to guide us so we understand what we are saying before we start telling people things that are not true.
Well,
You know?
Yeah.
you know, now, again, I don't know a lot of these ministers and everything, but they and they probably do like Chuck said. They go to school for this, and then it's only this much they're gonna cover, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna keep the people who coming. They're gonna tell them a little something about what's right, but gonna keep the other head and get the money and go
Right,
back to
right.
next Sunday. See them next Sunday.
Yeah, I can't find one that would die for, stand up for what they believe in. Because they're all cowards and they got a lot of fear in them. If they didn't have so much fear and cowardness, they would be able to stand up for the community.
Chuck, one of the problems, they don't know what to stand up for because they don't really know what they
Right,
believe.
right.
So I can't stand up for something I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, let's switch into something else. Let's take that same concept, switch it over. We saw what was going on in the House of Representatives this week,
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
last week, sorry.
Yeah.
People are there not having the gall, not having the manliness, the brain, whatever you want to say, to stand up and say, no, I'm not doing this because this is wrong.
Right.
They went back and they came back, and McCarthy, in order to be speaker, which he's been trying to get 10 years now,
Right.
he made all kinds of promises.
Right.
Yeah.
They came out with all kind of rubbish. They're supposed to be discussing them today
Mhm.
and supposed to vote on the rules.
Mhm.
One rule, for example, we must have a say in nominating 3 people for a committee. 10, 15, 20 people, whatever it is. Literally, the very small minority is holding the larger majority
yeah.
hostage
Mhm.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then McCarthy, after he finally was elected after the 15th time
Yeah.
around, he said what they're going to do. And the biggest thing he seems to be saying, oh, we're going to cut the budget.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure the budget is this, and by 10 years, this, that. I'm sorry, stupidness. He can't even put it together properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to investigate, They are going to investigate the people who are doing the investigation.
Yeah.
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 Now, why are you going to do that? Because you yourself was named.
Right. Yeah.
So, if I am a subject of this investigation, why now I'm going to be investigating those who investigated me?
Right.
Can't you see the hypocrisy for
right.
one?
Right. Right. I
These
can't-
are some of the things. Come on, tell me what else just went down.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, go
it's a farce, and the reason it took him so long, 15 times to get in there, is because of his relationship and how he acted with Trump when he was in office. He was his. He was
The
his,
man has no character.
right. It was his pillow. Trump used him as a pillow. It's just.
You know,
It's sad.
Didn't you hear him giving Trump praise for
Yeah.
him getting that, for the outcome? He made it. But what? This is the same man who was fed up of it, and this is it, and Trump has to
Yeah.
answer for what he did,
Yeah.
and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then he runs down to Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah.
as they say, to
And begging.
kiss the ring.
Yeah.
Right,
I guess
yeah.
Trump was like the Pope to him. He
Right,
kisses the
right,
ring.
right. And that's why they was giving him such a hard time to get nominated, because of the fear of his relationship with this idiot.
yeah. And
But then, why did they now turn around after all they know, after the reasons they had for not doing it? Why they turn around and vote for him? Stand up for what you believe
Right,
in.
right. Yeah, stick to your guns. Yeah.
well, it just shows that the whole Republican group in there now is really nothing, because
Less than nothing.
they're gonna be. Oh, we're going Biden and the son and all the, it's like they're gonna spend the next 2 years talking about something that happened, nothing that happened, but
Look,
they're gonna have their people into this stuff for the next 2 years.
and they want the same amount of money that this committee had, the same time, and all this kind of junk.
Yeah.
Now, Biden's son, what did he do to affect this country? All the things, he got a job out there and made some good money.
Right.
So they know they think he got that because of the father's position.
Well, the thing about it, if they're gonna go look at that, why don't they look at the woman from Arizona?
Arizona.
Yeah.
When she was sworn in, she had $62 million in the bank. No, $62,000 in the bank. That's what
Yeah.
she had.
Yeah.
Now she's got more than $2 million.
Right.
Now, where you think that money come from?
Yeah. You know where her priorities is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she ain't hiding it,
No.
but she's getting it.
No. And you
Yeah.
know, and the same about old Joe from West Virginia.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's a lot of these people, man, in Washington, and I'm gonna say, you know, all of them. First thing, some people want to holler, well, they all, but all of them are not like that.
No,
You
all
know?
of them are not like that. But that's going back to the question that you raised earlier. That's why a lot of these young people, because all the shenanigans that's going up
Yep,
there,
yep.
and all the corruption that's been exposed,
Yeah.
that's why they are saying, you know, to hell with voting.
Yeah.
Because all
Yeah.
of them is crook.
Yeah.
Chuck, and that is why we need to let our young people know, young men, young women, you need to step
And-
up
Mhm.
and make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You step up to the plate, make yourself available to be elected, to go in
Yep.
there and do something
Yeah,
meaningful.
make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your
Like
education.
this young man
Yeah.
from Florida, 25 years
Yeah.
old,
Yeah.
and he has already indicated what he wants to do. He wants to make a difference
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
He's not going in there just to pocket some money.
Right.
You know?
But see, the thing about the Republicans, they're not gonna let him do anything.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And they can't stop him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well.
They'll try.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Republicans are business oriented.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And greed
Yeah.
oriented.
Yeah. Yeah.
and they'll pay you whatever they have to do to get something across
Yeah.
one of their projects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what that was it pork belly, whatever you call it? The swine, that swine belly. Stay away from the
Good thing we don't
swine.
eat it.
Yeah, don't eat the swine. Yeah.
But Chuck,
No.
go ahead, Ahmad.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When you look at what's going on there, look what happened in the House. Because this person did not vote for McCarthy, you realize they almost had a fistic fight.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
They had to restrain this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me you get so ignorant, and that's probably not even the strongest word, but ignorant enough that because I don't see it the same way as you want to come and fight
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
What happened to free speech? What happened to being free thinkers? I could only think the way you say I must think. Because what? Because you have to do what Donald Trump says, or that idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the caliber of people, uneducated people that's getting up in that office and
Yeah.
holding those positions.
Yeah.
They're not civilized. You know, they can't take too much pressure.
Right.
They explode and they do crazy stuff like that.
Right. And
Let me
we
ask you then.
we get more and more of these people.
Yeah, we're scraping
in
yeah.
Washington. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's
we're
like-
scraping the bottom of the
in the
barrel.
2 minutes we have, what do you expect coming from the House of Representatives under the Republicans in charge? McCarthy, who couldn't even seem to even think for himself properly, and the other bunch of them who only just echoes of what Trump
Yeah,
says.
Well-
yeah. Because the Republican Party is turned into a cult.
Mhm.
Donald Trump destroyed the Republican Party because everybody put him on such a pedestal. And that pedestal was fake, and he was the dumbest one in the whole group.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And they believed in him, and they worshiped him.
Yeah, and
And
the
the
thing,
fear.
and the thing about it is that now we've got a bunch of the Republicans in there. They simply all they think about is making money, and anything that Democrats say or do, no, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice this young man from New York with all those lies and whatnot?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy never said anything
No.
against him.
No.
No. No.
So you're willing to
Yeah.
accept any old
Right.
Yeah.
crookedness?
Right. Yeah. And
Ever you telling me our politics, our
Yeah.
country come down to only to accommodate the crooks?
yeah, he even lied about his mama.
Yeah, yeah. And now, where you supposed to be from? Brazil. I think he was born in Brazil or something like that. But anyway,
Well, now there's a case down there they're opening up on.
yeah. And here, every week. Not every week, but almost every day.
Come up with another lie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Expose it.
Every day is something new coming out about him.
Yeah.
And worse and worse. Every time it's something worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That man has no character.
And,
No.
and the thing about it, he didn't want to admit he was lying. You're talking about, well, a lot of them do that. Just you know.
Yeah. Others do it, so I
Yeah.
could do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You got the green light.
We out of time, man. But join us again for the next show, and we will be back again. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and we catch you down the next block for more street talk. Peace.
Peace.
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.